Okay, day 4 working on the Falcon. I guess evening 4. Kids went to bed, so I'm down here in the garage and just started messing around with some stuff. So I thought I'd just show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to turn this around and show you what I'm doing. So here's what the front brakes look like after sitting for 45 years in a garage. Actually, not too bad. Took a little bit of finagling to get them off. Not nearly as bad as the rear ones, but it came off. So got all new hardware. We're going to replace it with that. There's all kinds of grease and tar and undercoating and I don't know what. Like, see that up there? It actually, you can see that little rust spot where it was exposed, but above it is the inner fender, which actually looks pretty decent. It came off in chunks. Let's see if I can show this to you. Here we go. This is actually a thin chunk. It looks sort of like that. It's about an 1/8 inch thick, maybe a little thicker, and it literally just comes off in these big pieces. So anyway, we're going to get that all cleaned up. Get some new grease fittings and some other stuff, some bushings, and get all that replaced. And then moving on to the fuel cell, or the gas tank. So I thought, oh, I'll just drop this thing. It won't be that bad. Disconnect the fitting up here for the fuel line and went to pull it out. Obviously, kind of expected this. The whole fuel line, the rubber part of the fuel line, this is a metal line, that part just cracked off. So whatever, no big deal. I was going to start taking these 2 bolts out because there's a bolt there and there's a bolt there. You take those out, the whole tank just kind of like, I think it just pivots down because there aren't bolts on the other side. So that's how the straps work. 1/2 inch nut over here. And then it looks like maybe a 5/8 or a 3/4 right above it. So I'm going to start taking those down. But I wanted to make sure the wire for the sending unit was loose and found some chunkiness like up in here. So don't have high hopes for the tank. I might have to replace it, but we do sell these and they're pretty inexpensive. So Dynacorn actually carries them. So we're going to do that, but also have to disconnect the fuel filler hose. And when I went back here to disconnect it, which, excuse me, I got the top hose clamp off. And then when I went to look at the bottom one, I found that. So definitely no fuel going in or out. Well, maybe out, but definitely not in. Looks like something may be chewed up through there. I don't know. I can't say I've ever seen a hose do that before. It is also super brittle. So I was trying to wiggle it. It's not moving. I'm just going to get old hacksaw Jimmy Dugan here and cut that out. And then we're going to drop this tank. I'm going to take those 2 bolts out and we're going to drop it. See what happens. Hopefully there's not really much fuel left in there. So safety note, put a jack or jack stands or something under the tank before you loosen it up, just in case there is stuff in there. And even if there isn't, these tanks aren't the lightest and you're usually in an awkward position. So just put something there and then you can slowly lower it down after you loosen it up. Now I'm getting ready to take the nuts and those bolts out. Okay, nuts actually came right out. It wasn't too bad. So this thing's sitting on the jack stand. I'm going to lower it down. Apologize if this video quality isn't the greatest. While I was filming one of the other pieces, my better camera slipped out of my hand, and of course there was a bucket of water right below me. Fell into it and fried it. So here we go. We're going to do this on my phone. Let's see how this works out. Both the recording and taking the fuel tank down. So we'll lower it a little bit and see if it starts to move. Oh, it's creaking. It's creaking. It's moving. Now the question is, how much fuel is actually in it? I don't know, I can smell something. I don't know if I trust this. Ooh. Yep, I'm going to set up a couple more jack stands and then lift this up. I'm going to clean up underneath it here, lift it up, shake it around a little bit first, see if I can hear anything sloshing around, and then we'll see about lowering it the rest of the way and getting it out of here. Here, the other thing you want to keep an eye out for or look out for, or heads up on, is whatever's up on top of the fuel tank. There's some sort of nest up there. Surprisingly, knock on wood or something down here, there weren't any nests in the car, but I did find one dead baby mice and or mouse, and could be something up here. So I'm going to just gently tilt this down. I shook it a little bit. Doesn't sound like there's really anything or much in it. I know, famous last words, but I'm going to try to just lower this thing here a little bit more, and hopefully it comes out. Okay, one strap out. Another strap is fairly out of the way, teetering on the jack. Sending unit line, got that out of the way. Hey, actually, not so bad. Hey, and it's down. And I didn't spill anything on me, and I didn't get mouse poop in my face. So, that is a success. Tank's out. I don't really like the looks of it. It's starting to peel, rusted. I mean, more than just starting to. It's the two sides that sit up in there. This was right next to the muffler, and this other side, which was open, but still kind of not looking so great. Again, for the money, it's not worth messing around with this. I just croiled the crap out of the sending unit, so I'm going to let that sit, see if I can get it out of there. The line came off, no problem, but I'm going to take that out, and then I think I'm just going to get a new tank. So I got the ring off of the sending unit, and I was starting to take it out, and you could feel it like put a little pressure on. There's no fuel in the tank because it is evaporated and turned back to crude oil. It looks like it is pretty sludgy. So definitely getting a new tank. I'm going to try to soak this sending unit, see if I can clean it up and get it to work again. But there's a chance that we'll just be getting a new sending unit as well. So the follow-up to night 4, looking at the next day, realized that we and a lot of other places sell the replacement 16-gallon tank, but this one from the wagon is actually a 20. So I'm glad I measured it. You can get the 20s. They are a whole lot more expensive, and the sending units are a lot more expensive. So I was just testing the sending unit out. It actually still works. So I was just cleaning it, and I think what I'm going to do is just dump some gas in here. Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to do some lacquer thinner to loosen a lot of that crud up and get that cleaned out first, and then maybe a little gas after that. Also noticed if I shined a light in there that the float is still in there, so that's good. I had some other sending units I was going to try to match up a float, but we'll see if we can get that one to work. It might just be stuck in there. So that's what we're going to do. You could actually see just after a couple minutes how much stuff came off this one. Like there's the original filter, which was completely black. And now it's cleaned up. So I'm going to just let this sit in here just for another minute or so and clean that out, test it again. Then we're going to do this one. And if it all looks okay inside, we'll clean the outside up, and we're going to roll with this for a while. Round 2, acetone sat overnight, cleaned that out. Now we're doing some gunk, some engine degreaser, and it's working. So we're going to keep doing this until we get this thing clean. Oh yeah, so this is what's coming out. I put this rag on the end of a rod and just kind of swabbed it around the inside of the tank just to like get a little pressure on it, loosen it up, and it's all kinds of gunky, gummy, tarry stuff. So I'm going to go through this a couple times and keep spraying it with gunk, and then hopefully we get that cleaned out, that black cleaned out. So I know this isn't the greatest view because I don't have a little scope to get down in the tank, but that is the lower trough that the sending unit, or that the float goes down into, and that was completely full, like probably 3/4 of an inch or so of just crud. So the inside is actually fairly clean. I am going to put some gas in here at the very end before we put this back in the car and slosh it around to get some of that cleaned out. I also bought a whole pack of external fuel filters because those were like $16 for all of those versus spending about $500 on a tank. Figured I could put that in line just outside of this, and then I'll just keep replacing that every so often. Again, this is kind of a budget build, as most of these cars are, at least the ones that I do. So I'm just going to use this tank. What we're going to do is clean this off, and then I'm going to spray the whole outside of it with Zero Rust to kind of seal it up. Again, put some gas in here, slosh around, and then we're going to get it back in there. One of the things I did, all the ribbing that's on here, when I put the lacquer thinner in, what I found was, or worked best was, let it sit for a while to kind of start softening it up, and then literally just lift the tank side to side, rock it back and forth. And as that fluid went back through there, it kind of acted like a washboard, an old washboard, and it cleaned a lot of it out. And then you saw I got the rags and went back and forth, and I did that over and over and over again. So that got the majority of it out. Sending unit, I actually had an old sending unit and had a float, a metal float that fit perfectly on the hook that was on the end, so that's done. I did end up taking the sock off, the filter off the end of that, because as soon as I touched it, it was kind of falling apart. So I'm going to see if I can get a new sock to slide over that. That'll act as another filter to help keep stuff out of this tube. If not, these filters will pick up on that stuff, but I don't want the sending unit tube to get clogged with anything that might be in there. So I'm going to try to get a new sock. But that's it. Got that, and actually found a replacement hose. So here's the old, let me get that can of Croyle out of there. Here's the old filler hose that was all gnarled and broken up and hard as a rock. You could sort of squeeze it, that I cut in half. These ones, you can find replacements. I actually found this on Amazon. It is, well, there it is right there. 2 1/4 inch inside diameter. Obviously, this is a China knockoff. It's just a generic 2 1/4 inch with a 45-degree angle in it. But when you line it up, literally, if I do this and see it on there, all you really have to do is just trim it a little bit on either end, no fit. And this, I think, was like $23 versus like a $65 or $70 original replacement. So that'll be fine. There's some new fuel line. We're going to just replace the steel with rubber fuel line and get that put in. Oh, and that's what I was saying with the tank. It literally, for this 20-gallon tank, is like $400 and some. The 16-gallon tank is only $100 and some. So for $400 and some, plus the sending unit is more for this tank. I think the sending unit is $100 and some. So you're looking at $500-600. It wasn't worth it for this. So I got it cleaned out. Going to go through a bunch of fuel filters, and it should be fine. Fingers crossed. So that's it for this one. Stay tuned for the next video. Subscribe so that you can see what's coming up with this. We're going to get into the brake lines, fuel lines, and all of the engine related stuff next. Thanks for watching.